Hey guys, SeanB, and today we have a balance patch prediction video. And it wouldn't be fun if I'm just talking to myself, so I have a big brain guardian player here and another big brain guardian cleaver down there. So we can have multiple perspective on how we can look at the balance patch in the future, especially with me as a peasant C3 in the corner as well. So, hey, welcome to the YouTube video with Once in Love and LC33. They both stream on Twitch every fucking day. So I'll leave their link down below for you guys to check their stream out.
What's going on? Good to be back. Always a great time to be on a collab with you, Sean, and to have our boy LC here. It's always nice.
Hello, I think it's my first time doing a video with you.
Oh, damn. So
I've been on your channel before. But
oh, yeah. In like a compilation.
Yeah.
So we all know Once in Love. We don't care about him. So who's LC? Can we have like a 30-second about you?
Yeah, sure. I've been streaming now for almost 2 years. 2 years next month, actually. I'm heavily reminded of it every day. I've just been trying to have fun with the game. I've been playing for about 4 years. I've been extremely lucky in the game. And I just like to have fun and have a good time.
So the best thing about LC is if you watch Foxy on YouTube and he doesn't do video anymore and you don't know what to do when you want to watch a Bastet team destroy people, you can go to his Twitch channel and watch the same thing. It's pretty cool. Now we are going to take a look at the potential unit that we can buff, nerf, and maybe some adjustment. So what do you guys think is gonna be the next hot thing to be nerfed first in the next balance patch? Because it's kind of a thing now for come to us to nerf a little bit some of the unit here and there. So we all have our little pain in the ass. So which one are we looking at? Tyler, what do you think?
Were you gonna go LDs first or non-LDs first?
I mean, you can go to Kinki first. I'm not gonna hide anything.
It's honestly, I hate Kinki, but I really think that Valantis and Ragdoll are still more of a problem. If we're talking about Kinki though, I think the fair rebalance to Kinki is that you can't defense break on revenge. You can life drain, you can like do all of these things, but like revenging and defense breaking is too strong in my opinion.
And every turn too, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, and every turn. Well, and you get 2 chances to defense break as well, right? If they reduced his revenge damage, it still wouldn't make a difference because the biggest strength is a lot of people run it on despair, max resist, and it defense breaks for something else to kill. Kinki's not the one who usually like kills your team in that first turn from revenge. He's the one who sets up somebody else to just slaughter you.
Yeah, it makes Artamiel looks like normal to me, you know, like, oh, Artamiel revenge, oh good, Kinki revenge, oh shit. You know?
Yeah, the 2-turn defense break, you're like, oh, we lost.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
We lost.
As a cleaver, you probably hate him a lot, right, LC?
He's not very fun to deal with. Unless I get a defense break off, he's almost impossible to kill.
True.
And like you said, max res normal build is nightmarish.
Yesterday I fought someone who revenged me, and then I stunned him, and then he violent procced out, and I was like, this is probably the best build, and nobody runs it, but if you run this, you're actually a monster. Violent procced out, and yeah, and he killed me. I was like, oh, okay.
It's like Violent Rika too.
I stunned him, and then he just ended my dreams.
Violent Rika.
Yeah, it's like Violent Rika.
Yeah,
you'd be like
a Violent Rika.
you stun Rika, and you'd be like, yeah, it's all good, you know, like she's gonna be locked out for a turn. Boom! Like, oh. You win, bro. You win.
No one expects it.
Yeah. But another real problem now is a combination of 25 unit. We call it Valantis. This unit is crazy. The only bad thing about him I can think of is the low base speed. But he doesn't care. He's going to get the attack bar anyway.
What's his base speed? 96?
99.
99. He doesn't need a base speed. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like with his 50% chance to counter and then gain attack bar, he just doesn't need to have attack. He doesn't need to have speed anymore.
Dude,
like,
they say 50%.
He's the ultimate.
I don't believe it's 50%, man. It's crazy. It happens every time.
No, happens every turn.
Yeah, and he stuns you every turn because he stuns, and then he's usually on despair too, so it's even worse.
Insane unit. Revenge stun turn 1, whatever your unit is, and then strip provoke stun your entire team, and it's over. Like literally,
and
like
glancing.
Instantly.
And glancing.
He
so
went from like
provoke.
Yeah, he went from like a B tier unit to like Vert and I don't know, Vert and Gianna combined kind of thing.
He's got like the built-in Tianlang passive, right? Like when people get attacked, like people observe attack bar and he gets attack bar. It's like you hit him and he gains attack bar. Like It says 50%, but we all know it's not 50%. That thing, every time you attack it. he gets attack bar.
Yep.
So a lot of people might think he's okay if you own him because you probably have him on a lower speed set, and even when he gained that 20% attack bar, he doesn't move, right? But if you set him up right with a decent speed on him, when he gain attack bar, he move, it's almost over for the enemy team. It's crazy.
I fought someone yesterday who picked Sierra, Gianna Hagang, and then they picked Han Valantis, and I was like, how do you win this?
Just take it.
He
Like,
picked his own counter pick first, and then he picked Valantis and Han. I was like, how do you beat that guy?
Like the only way to beat them is you start off with Molong and you lead into like unkillable tanky team. If you start off with a normal team, you're screwed. Like it's over.
The problem with that like unkillable team is that like you're still gonna get despair stun forever.
Yep.
It's just so painful. Han murders people. Han just murders people.
Han is such good damage.
And for like a cleaver, like LC is also another terrible unit to fight against, isn't it? Because Bastet doesn't care about him, right?
Bastet doesn't care about him. Honestly, it's not that bad. I think he's only really tough to fight if you're playing
Turn
the
one
meta with the turn 1, Jeogun, Chungpong, Oki, Carnal, like that. Because of the revenge, it's very scary to AoE strip. So honestly, I don't have that big of a problem with him. The only problem I do have when I forget he's on the field and I Bastet S2 and I'm thinking Jameer will reset anyway. I just want some extra damage, and then he resets and cuts him. Okay, I'm done. I threw.
So the
gotta-
cleaver
you
is
gotta
less of a problem, a little bit less, a little bit.
Little bit.
Just you wait until people start running their siege defense builds. They go minus fire, and then they make him like 50k HP and like 270 speed range.
Dude, there's one dude on the ladder. He runs a slow cleave. I fought him like 4 times this season.
Do you
He
win
runs
all
a slow
4?
cleave. No. Well, he won all 4. I didn't win all 4.
Wait, really?
Yeah, because this dude has like he picks the same team every time, and I fight him like a week in between every time. I remember, I don't want to call him out, but I remember his name, and I always forget what I do to him, and then I just do the same thing. He'll bring like a Samath, Tiana, Belinus +2, and I'm thinking, okay, he's trying to outspeed me. So I'll ban the Samath. It's a slow cleave. He has like 3 or 4 shield sets plus a 50k Belinus. So I'll do 32k with Oberyn, and he'll still be at a 3rd health. And I'm like, I guess
Oh,
I'll
I
die.
think I watched that. You got debated so hard, and then the balance
This
just sit there
guy
and be like,
loses
I'm
to
good.
fast control though.
Oh yeah, for
He
sure.
He
He's-
loses to the meta stuff, but he beats all the off meta stuff, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's great. But it's just about how many matches you get against the off meta versus meta stuff.
I think when you fight on ladder, there's a healthy amount of non-first turn meta stuff that you meet. Like half the time is Water Ryu, Jeogun, half the time is Molly, Molong, Ragdoll, and then maybe a small of the time is fucking LC with the Bastet first pick kind of thing. And sometimes I see like a full team of just RNG unit, like Diana and Taras, Fire Ryu, and
Dude,
Kinki, and just like, I'm gonna make you mad for the day, and that's all I want to do, kind of thing.
I don't know what it is, but at least once a day lately, I'm getting like a first pick Antares guy. I couldn't tell you.
Man just
I
give
really
up, no?
couldn't
Like,
tell
man
you.
just like, I'm done, dude. It just whatever.
Yep.
So I've been playing up in like close to G3, so I've been around the ranks like 500 range, and the most common thing to see is a first pick Molong. Actually, it's Sierra and Molong, I think. So the first 3 picks I ever see is, if it's not an LD Nat 5, it's Molong, Sierra, and Jeogun. Those are the 3 that I see all the time. And I think the Molong one is the most common because it's really easy for a lot of people to pivot, especially if you have an LD Nat 5. So like if you have a Ragdoll, you can go Molong, and then if they don't contest your speed, then you just run a speed cleave. Like, right, you run your like Chungpong and your Haegang and stuff. And if they do contest it, then you can just pick anything you want, right? You can pick the Akroma, you can pick the Molly, you just pick all these super slow, safe, tanky, you pick the Lulu. And it's really, really hard to fight these Molong LD Nat 5 players. Because all of them have 2 of them.
I think because
It's never
Molong
just
is
one.
the anti-LD 5, and because when you are like anywhere 1,000 and up, every match is an LD 5 of some sort, and Molong is just usually the answer to some of the LD 5. So might as well just take him first, because if you give Molong to the LD 5 user, you're left with nothing. So
Well, I think I've deduced that the 2 best answers to the LD Nat 5 users, the really heavy ones, especially the slower players, is Jeogun and Molong. So Jeogun can put one away, and he also gives you enough speed and damage pressure with the attack bow speed buff. And if you Molong somebody, if you have like a 15-20% damage artifact, then you can hit like, you can pretty easily hit somewhere around like 80+% with your Molong, right? If you have 15% artifact, you're hitting 80.5. If you have 20%, you're hitting 84. So you can basically one-shot a unit on the first turn. But the problem is that the biggest issue with those units is Ragdoll, and Ragdoll is damage mitigation, so it's even harder to one-shot him, right? Like,
I think
with the
that was
passive
a
that
buff
reflects
to
damage, it
Ragdoll against
reduces damage
Molong
you
in
take too.
particular.
It was a huge buff to Molong, and everyone's like, Ragdoll got nerfed. It's like, it's such a good buff to have for that unit. Like, he's crazy with that.
Yeah, and when you
Absolutely
suddenly
crazy
want to
with that.
Molong him, you realize, oh shit, I might die. I might die immediately. All right, so that was enough for LD Nat 5. Let's take a look at the normal elements for now. So what do you guys want to see getting touched by the hand of gods in this balance patch? You want to
Yo,
start
Joe,
first?
I want to
Momo
see a
first.
change to Scroll Trap.
All right, I have that unit. We're moving on to the next one.
Or hey,
Oh shit, I have that unit too. We're moving on to the next one. All right,
Sean, you have most of the units
Jeogun.
now, to be honest.
Wow,
I
dude.
think you have most of them.
2 seasons ago, just a B tier BJR5 leader. What a piece of shit unit. Now, the top voted Nerf request on Reddit. What happened, boys? What happened?
double
Extra
buff.
turn mechanic.
Yep.
She's got an extra turn mechanic, and that's busted.
Absolutely
Everybody
crazy.
knows. You get an extra turn, your cooldowns are 1 less automatically, and you're OP.
And the speed
Like-
buff together with a slow debuff that you can put on the enemy, and oh, that's just pain. So
I mean,
how
for
do
me,
you
I'm
want
always going to
to?
say that, like, if you land the scroll, I don't think you should violent proc, right? It forces people to choose between sealing or stripping, right? You can't seal a more and then strip everybody and then still move, right? It
I like
also
second that.
like reduces the amount of like turns that he rotates, right? Because Jeogun naturally gets his skill 2 rotation into skill 3 pretty quickly.
Oh,
So
fast.
oftentimes, like, unless you're contesting speed, like with speed buff or speed down, you're generally getting lapped pretty hard.
That's why I put mine on violent to even get more turn, and it's pretty crazy. I love it. I can scroll, buff, and violent, and then almost next turn I get a scroll again.
Mhm.
It's pretty nuts. You can scroll
That's
2 units.
toxic. That's
Yeah.
toxic, star.
So I think that's fair that you can either strip or scroll. But if you put it on violent, you can strip and scroll still after the nerf potentially.
I mean, that's fair. Like, if you're giving up 25 speed to do it, then I think that's fair. Another thing that I think is relevant is, like, when we talk about, like, nerfing a unit or changing a unit, it's in reference to changing other things too. It's not like only nerf Jeogun, right? Like, if we nerf Jeogun like this, we also need to touch more, and then we also need to touch a couple other units, right? Like, it has to be fair across all of them. It's not just only nerf this unit because this unit is too strong, right? It's a good balance of it all. Because I know I can already read the YouTube comments. They're gonna be like, "These guys just want to nerf Jeogun. Jeogun doesn't deserve it." It's like, yeah, a lot of these units deserve nerfs.
So I have everything now. I have everything pretty much, and I still
Yeah,
want to
how's
see,
this
like,
feel?
you know, a change in meta, because if we can say the meta never changed, but the meta actually changed every season, and it's, you know, gonna be fun to see the meta change again next season, hopefully, to a different group of stripper, pretty much.
Meta.
To Cleaver, this unit is not a really big of a problem, right? Because low base speed, and you can
Higher
pretty much
than
outspeed
Bastet,
and
man.
one-shot him.
She's 3 faster than Bastet. It's tough.
Depends if
Just
it's on
farm.
will, right? If you're on, if
Farm.
you're a will cleaver, like you're one of, like, the Japanese cleavers are all on will, so Jeogun is useless against them. But if you're
Yeah.
not on will, then Jeogun is like a menace.
I ditched
'Cause he
Will
just seals
for
you first
more
turn, right?
speed
He
a
seals-
long time ago.
Yeah, he seals you.
Also,
and then it's over.
Gianna counter. Big brain.
So this big boy, the Water Ryu, has dodged the previous season. Do you think it's gonna be touched on by this balance patch this time?
Yeah, I think they're gonna give him a cooldown on passive.
That's it?
They don't need to do anything else. Everything else, I think, is fair on him.
I think I
Really?
have
His
enough
chance-
of matches that I miss every single strip to say that, oh, that strip is kind of not really that good, huh?
Well, 50% ain't enough for you?
Dude, there are some
50%
matches I
per
just
hit
miss
is not that
everything.
good.
It's crazy. Like, I literally just
So
miss everything.
it's 50%, and then you have to go through resistance check, right? So if
That's
you don't run
true.
max accuracy, it's even lower. And most people
That's
don't run max accuracy on their more. Like,
I
most
have
people run like
82.
50
I think I
to
can
60
complain a little
range.
bit, just a little bit.
82 is pretty fair to complain about.
Dude, I stutter, man. But yeah, and then I do get revenge double crit by Vert a fair share amount of time in my head that I'm like, I need to ban the Vert still, kinda. But yeah, he can solo a lot of things because of his immortality passive. So I think adding a cooldown to passive at least take out his potential to like solo 3 of your unit on his own, which is kind of crazy.
Yep.
I think it's just a little too punishing, right? It's 3 turns cooldown, and then it gives you a 100% attack bar. So it's like, if they're not gonna make it one more turn cooldown, drop his attack bar gain or something.
Yep, I was about to say that. Or some conjunction. I think he absorbs 30% right now. I wouldn't mind seeing a 20% absorption.
I honestly don't think his absorb is that strong. Mainly just because I guess it depends on the wording of the chance to absorb, right? If the chance to absorb is 100%, then yeah, maybe it's a little bit too strong. If it's not 100%, I think it's fine. If it like fits that 50% that we're looking at for the other skill up.
Because sometimes you don't strip on the first hit as well. You strip on the third hit and you don't absorb anything. So that's a problem too. You have to land the strip and you land the two absorb after that. But there's a very low chance for that to happen. Usually you land at most 1 absorb. Unless enemy has no will, then you can land multiple absorption easily. Even still, I still don't see that happen a lot. Also, they tend to like, when they nerf something, they will give it something else in return nowadays, like how they give Ragdoll the reflection damage, right? Or how they buff Wolyung and then just take something away. So they kind of just give and take a little bit sometimes. So if they reduce the attack bar you gain or they increase the cooldown of this skill, what do you think is going to be a fair return gift to him that maybe give him like a small speed buff, for example? Is that too crazy? Like a 1-turn speed buff? Or maybe a 1-turn defense buff, or something.
I think the speed buff would just kind of be counterintuitive to what the nerf is trying to prevent. I could see maybe a higher chance to strip, maybe go up to 60 or 65%.
I think that would just make him stronger, though.
But we think
the more consistent you make his first turn, the stronger he is as a unit, right?
That is
more his big strength is how strong he is as a first turn and a second turn unit. His his end game is annoying because of the extra turns, but it's like kind of negligible when you talk about, because a lot of matches that involve a more are usually over in the first 4 turns, right? You just end somebody's streams really quick.
It's true.
The true terror is actually the despair.
I don't think they have to give him anything. I really don't think they have to give him anything on passive. If they increase the cooldown by 1, I think he's still really strong, right? He's still going to be used for the same thing.
What if they take
no
away
one's going to change
lead?
the way they build him?
And now
he's like nobody would use him.
Nobody would
use him.
That bad?
If they took away his speed lead, he
would you use Giou without speed lead?
But he's more than just Giou, right? He has other things.
You're right. He is more than just Giou.
I think if you take away his speed lead, people are going to build him on Violent or Despair and move it right in front of their like Violent units. They're not going to run it on Swift anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So he's not just like another easy Swift build unit that you can just like slap on and make everybody cry.
I think taking away his speed lead is a lot, though. Like if they take away his speed lead, he's going to be pretty dead unless they give him something else huge, right? Because he just becomes like another unit that's like not as good.
Take away speed lead, give awakening into speed.
Okay, now that would be interesting. That would be interesting.
God!
It would force people to run different speed leads, though. It would force people to run a different speed lead.
It's like a cooler No, he'll make Triton look like shit. Yeah, if he awakens to speed, Triton will be extinct. Immediately. Like who would use Triton?
He's like the blue damage Triton.
Yeah, it's like Triton, but better in every way, young and healthy. And is there any last win element unit you want to touch upon as well?
I've been saying it for seasons. I'm just gonna ride my high horse here. Oracles, just all oracles across the board, mainly Ciara. Just a 2-turn S1, two hit S1. The only nerf I want.
2-hit S1. Less attack bar gain.
Up the gain by 20%. It's mainly to reduce artifact damage, similar to Oki.
If you increase their attack bar past what they currently have, they're going to be way stronger than before, even with the artifact damage difference, because you'll be cycling bombs way faster at a lower speed.
No,
right?
He want to
so if you're
make
getting
2 hits.
Yeah,
2 hits.
So if you drop it to 2 hits and then you increase the attack bar past that, how much attack bar are you saying per hit then?
He wants
it would still be if you crit on every hit, it'll still be 5% less than it was before.
Oh, you want it to be 40%?
Yeah, it's now 45.
Yeah.
He wanted to be 40 with 2 hits.
Yeah.
So people who run non-max crit will suffer even more when they miss one of the crit, It's gone.
Premium unit deserves premium runes.
The only reason I don't like that is because you're locking her into a specific build style.
That's fair.
Like under
Well,
that
keep in mind,
assumption,
this won't just be
you
CR.
basically
This will be
have
all
to run
oracles.
max. Yeah, but okay, so you're nerfing all oracles when CR is really like. I mean, CR and Gianna are the strong ones, right?
I think they're all
And it's
super strong, right?
because they have bomb. I mean, they're all good. They're all good. Don't get me wrong. Lima is way weaker than the other ones, and so is Juno. Like I would say, Praha's better than Juno right now.
Oh, I don't have Praha.
For the most part, and for the most part, the best part about Sierra and Gianna is they both have bombs.
True.
Like the bombs ignore elements. They can stun you, and they just do a lot of damage. And they scale over time, right? The damage goes up quite significantly over time. That's why I'm not sure if it's like, yeah, I get additional damage is frustrating on the oracles, but I feel like if you lower the amount of additional damage output, Juno gets gutted so hard you'll never use her, and Praha also gets gutted so hard you'll probably never use her.
True. Because the only good thing about Juno is the skill one. Most of the time.
Yeah, pretty much. Juno is
She has one
literally just
thing.
a skill one bot.
She has one thing
Yeah.
only.
Yeah.
And she hits really hard with it.
But you need to, I mean, you need to invest a lot of stats into these units for them to actually do anything, though.
You do.
Right? Whereas, like, other units are less stat intensive. Like, a Chongpeng is less stat intensive than a Ciara. So is even a Molong is like less stat intensive, right? Because she needs all three main stats and then crit rate and then accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
Versus like Molong needs speed, HP, defense, accuracy, and then maybe resist. And it's like Chongpeng needs speed, HP, defense, accuracy, and that's it. Right?
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I don't know. I've been calling it for a while. I don't know if it's still relevant, but I'm just sticking to my guns on this one. I get what you're saying. It does lock them into a build, a very specific build. I've said it before.
I also worry with the speed
PSCR.
leads, right? Because speed leads have this kind of like place in the game where in every game somebody picks at least there are at least 2 speed leads in every game, right?
Mhm.
Usually more. But if you nerf Sierra and you nerf more, then suddenly the speed leads become so much stronger if you have the other ones, right? Like especially the LD ones that you can't contest. Like a Nephthys becomes that much more valuable as a speed lead option because the speed leads are worse.
Yep.
Part of me thinks it's okay to do that. Like I think it's okay to really tackle like speed lead issue, but that is a pretty drastic change that you're asking for.
That's a big change to the whole game that I would not know how that looks.
It's like right now I use a 270 Sierra and she barely feels like fast enough to use. Jesus. And if you nerf her down to 40% attack bar gain, she has to be faster to be on the next tick. Which just like forces people to be faster and faster and faster, right?
Good lord.
Honestly, with how many times I miss bomb all the time every day, I think she's okay. She's fine. Like just miss bomb and what? She do like 6k damage, like boohoo, so scary, you know? Like, oh my god, dude.
She gets it back
crazy.
in 2 turns.
And then she missed again, dude. I have a game where I missed like 4 times in a row on like just a normal unit. Not even like if I miss on the Molly, okay, dude, okay, take it. I miss on like an Oki, I know it's 4 times in a row. I'm like, bruh, sad. But yeah, outlier, yeah, outlier. Sometimes when she missed, when it mattered the most, when it's like I need to stun this guy, or else it's gonna buff and cleave me. Boom, missed stun. All right, dude. All right, I'm just gonna walk out, dude. Easy. Sag, big Sag.
I know this sounds weird, but in general with wind units, normally wind units are like really OP, right? Like normally we're like, oh, wind units are the best element. I actually feel like wind units are pretty okay right now, and I kind of wish that they would buff more wind units. Yeah, well, I mean, even before that, like they've added things to the game that are really good for other elements that are strong.
True.
And I feel like I want to see wind units buffed actually, because I want to see more wind units in Siege.
On this topic, what buff is Ethna gonna get this patch?
Ethna?
Ethna is going to get an
speed lead, dude. Ethna need a speed lead. 3. There's no speed lead in this
additional
family.
Hit skill 3 and another 10. They're gonna lower the stun guarantee threshold by 10% more.
Okay, I like it.
Poseidon is gonna do bonus damage based on the difference of your speed and his speed.
That is a big formula that my
those are the 2 buffs. Those are the 2 buffs I'm waiting for to happen. The 2 buffs nobody asked for and nobody needed. But
dude, Poseidon gets speed lead and Pontos get nerfed and get attack lead. You know?
Dude, Pontos is actually really scary right now.
Pontos is really scary.
But anyway, those were funny, yeah. What is the real buff you want to see?
Those are ridiculous.
Because some of Comptos tend to randomly buff things that were okay, like nobody saw it coming, like random She-Hulk buff, random Poseidon buff, random Ethna buff. So maybe they're just gonna randomly buff Valantis for some reason, you know, like awakening
Yeah,
to
they
speed.
buffed Ariel. Nobody thought they buff Ariel.
Oh yeah, true. See, buff
They
Ariel.
buffed Ariel.
Not.
I mean, he just
recently.
looks like a worse Lulu still to me.
One day when he provide immunity, that's the day where Ariel will actually have a position in PvP, right?
Even if he provides immunity, Lulu provides immunity and cleanse on 2 different skills.
And faster.
I think Ariel's skill 2, Archangel's skill 2, like this skill right here, it's just a joke in general. Like nobody need this much healing. Like do something else about it, right? Like
I mean,
Lulu's
the only unit that you heal for that much is like Yinhong's skill 3, which is like 4 times better than Ariel's skill 2.
Mm-hmm.
Lulu's skill 2 has less cooldown, more utility. It's insane. Heal, cleanse, and immunity means so Ariel just like, I'm just gonna heal, bro. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm lazy. And it's longer cooldown. Oh my god.
Ariel is just outdated. Ariel's outdated.
I mean, one can say, oh, Ariel is my favorite unit in Guild Siege with blah, 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 right? But overall, you gotta agree that, you know, a buff to him wouldn't hurt anybody. And everybody with Ariel would cry in joy when he's actually quite strong, comparable to a 2-star unit, potentially.
Yeah,
but what
I
else?
want to see a buff to Kashmir. That's what I want to see.
Who?
The Wind Ryu.
Yes.
What is his
worst
name?
Wind Daphnis.
Oh
Kashmir.
god, he's
Kashmir.
so bad.
Dude, his name sounds like a luxurious clothing brand.
Yeah. So
He's anything.
what I want Kashmir to do is when his skill 3 is on cooldown, I want him to have built-in revenge chance with skill 2.
That's just making him Fire Ryu, isn't it?
Yeah, that's making him Douglas.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Don't
but not
make him
the
the same
glancing
or
aspect.
something.
I want it to be a flat 30% chance to revenge. Because I think that would give him enough pressure to make him scary. The problem is he just doesn't do any damage, right? You skill 3 and then you don't do anything.
Yep.
After you skill 3, you do nothing. So maybe after you skill 3, you get like 2 turns of immunity or something.
That would be insane. That'd be really good.
I think he's just like Sakmat, because giving him the chance to do it again doesn't mean anything if he failed when you need it to land, right? It's so weird. Like they did
Even
that
if
to
he
Sakmat.
does land it, like Sekhmet will increase cooldowns. That's actually pretty good. And steal buffs. He does like 60%.
And if she
health.
misses, she gets a free strip again. I mean, she gets a free strip
Yep.
that steals everything.
Yep.
So when he missed,
I
it's
think-
so weird because he does so little damage when he missed and he just stopped halfway. It's
Yep.
just strange to me.
It is interesting.
What if they like self-buffed skill 3? They gave him attack buff. Do you think he'd be too strong?
I think he'd be one-shotting everything.
That if
Would he
if
have enough
land,
damage to one-shot everything? I don't know. I don't know if the multiplier is good enough though.
The multiplier,
he
if you put him
landed.
on like pure damage, he can get to like 70-80%.
I mean,
on like
put him on like a
Oh.
like a standard Daphnis build.
he do less than.
I don't think.
Daphnis.
I think in
I've
current,
tested that.
yeah, in current standing he can't kill.
No, he can't kill right
He
now.
does a
but with
little bit
attack
less
buff,
than
that's
Daphnis,
different.
and Daphnis already like not used much anymore because of the fact that he
Mhm.
can
Maybe
miss.
just-
It sucks.
Maybe the immunity. I don't know. I think the immunity is.
Maybe
think
give him
immunity
like
is
this
fine, right?
attack will always crit, so we can build him with less runes.
That'd be fun. I'd get down with that.
So like you can focus more accuracy on him so that he can, you know, but he awakened to crit rate, so I can't do that, right? Unfortunately.
Yeah. Awaken to more crit rate. 45.
Honestly,
crit
if he
rate.
awoken into speed, people might use him too, because they might use him as a fast stripper to set up for other things.
Yeah,
But
just
wh-
make him like a stripper-ish unit, right?
At
But
that
But then the
point, why not
problem
just
is,
use
I would
Jack?
rather just give that speed awakening to Cigar, so Cigar can just like strip reset on turn
Oh,
1.
God.
We can talk about Cigar later.
I want Cigar to be good too.
I mean, it's like Kashmir, Cigar, Giou. All these units suck, right? Even the mage is pretty bad too. Like Momo is pretty trash.
Yeah.
100 stacks on Momo, which doesn't do anything.
I was so excited when I saw that. I'm like, 100 stacks.
So you guys don't know what to
Doesn't
do
do
with this
anything in
guy?
Guild Wars.
He's gone?
I have
I have
him.
no idea. Can
You
we
have
just like
him?
change the way his skill 3 works?
Yeah, I have him. I
Just
never
change the whole
built
thing.
him because my
Yeah.
my buddy built him day one. I actually pulled him day one, and my buddy built him, and he's like, "Don't even bother. It's not worth the damage."
What if they give him the skill 2 strip? So he's like a full-time stripper. Skill 3 strip, skill 2 can strip every
Oh, they
time,
give him
every day.
rolling- You want to give him rolling strike or whatever it is on skill 2?
That'd be
Just
pretty
add
good.
More skill.
It would
Yeah, that
cycle a
could work.
lot. It would work with
They
the accuracy.
did that
build,
before
too.
with like Dragon Knights and some other unit, right? They just give the unit like a brand new skill of the other elements. and suddenly they
why
become
not?
strong. So he can
Yeah,
be a full-time
honestly,
stripper.
I think it's viable. I think it's a viable opportunity.
And
Like
might as well
that.
just allow him to attack. Like keep attacking when you fail. Like don't stop attacking. Like just do the rest of the damage, and at least people don't feel so bad, right? Like he just hit one time, miss, and he did like 3k damage, and it's pathetic.
Yeah.
So sad, dude.
It's like if Ken's S3 stopped on the first hit if you miss crit.
That'd be so sad, dude.
That'd be so sad.
And people ask me to buff the light version of that unit. I never really play with the light Ryu.
Oh, Talisman.
Is that
So
bad?
like,
Of course.
is he that bad? Like his skill 3 can do some sick damage, right? Isn't it?
Doesn't he death break though?
No. He just self attack
no.
buff, right? And just go in for the big
Yeah,
damage.
self-attack buff. And ignores damage reducing effects. To be perfectly honest, the problem with Talisman is that he just doesn't do enough anything.
So the damage not good.
And
at all?
so one of my guildies in G3 like tries running this unit, even with like Nefty's builds and stuff like that. Like you just don't do enough with this unit.
So you don't
There are, like,
justify
these-
the slot. Like you rather run like a
Yeah.
Poseidon for like the pushback
Yeah,
and the damage.
Poseidon's way better. Yeah, and Poseidon ignores elements all the same, right? So it's like why would you run Talisman when you could run something else? Because Talisman doesn't have super strong utility and has decent damage. So it's like, why wouldn't I run a decent damage dealer that has utility or a super high damage dealer that has no utility, right? Like just run the Sav or run the Poseidon or, like run a Valantis or something. It's like those units are just so much stronger.
True. Sag,
Yeah.
Talisman. So maybe adding some extra utility here, like a stun, a pushback, a reset, something, right? To make it comparable to the Light Ant Master, who at least can ignore the enemy passive, which is a utility right there already. I think that'd be better.
I think his skill 3 pushing back a little bit could be okay. Or like a small chance to stun or something.
Or like absorb
I can
attack
see
bar,
it.
so we can cycle to skill 2 like a Seema,
Yeah.
for example.
Yeah, that could be good.
A Seema's so good because she just performed 2 big AoE in the same turn, which is insane.
Yeah, Seema ends streams.
It hurts.
All right, going back to the wind element, though, is where the big 3, it used to be the best element. Now it's the element we both meme on the most, with the good old big 3, Christina, Giou, and the new addition, Momo, to the please buff family. You were talking about Momo 100 stack earlier, Tyler. So what do you think about Momo?
Momo at 100 stacks does nothing. On like 115% efficient build, just does nothing. It does no damage. The utility is like, it's cool, but I mean, in any content where you can actually use Momo at 100 stacks or even close, they're just going to violent proc out a billion times because that's what Siege and Guild Wars is about, right? If you're using it in RTA, you're never going to get enough stacks to do any damage. The problem with Momo is like, they want you to build this like long-term destroy bruiser, but the problem is like, you just don't do anything at all. You don't do any damage. Your utility is like, it's good utility for damage, but because you set up defense break for others. But like, why would you use Momo when you could just use Galleon? Or why would you use Momo when you could use Carcano? Like, you don't need AoE defense break in those contents. You don't need AoE defense break in most content.
Yeah, I think they want to
Momo
make her
just
like
doesn't fit
a
well.
raw damage dealer with this, but the stack is too slow. And even when full stack, it doesn't do like the damage that you dream to have, right? It just do like a little bit more, and you don't feel justified when you can just like do that kind of damage with some other unit.
I think the thing with Momo and like most of the mages is that if all the mages had the concept of like Coco or like the Onimushas where they didn't need crit damage, they would be so much stronger. But the problem with Momo is that like they want you to build this unit on crit damage so that you deal damage, but then the problem is you don't do that much because your scalings are really weak and it takes a long time to build. Right? You guys remember when Fire Monkey King and like, or Jaeger, remember Jaeger used to suck because it took
I was
forever to
gonna
get
say
his
the same
passive up. And then they ramped it up like crazy. So it's like 5 turns. He's max stacks. That's why he was good, because he ramped up fast enough to actually have impact. Whereas Momo doesn't ramp up, and that also doesn't have impact even when you're max stacks. So I don't know what they need to change, whether it's ramping the passive faster, maybe adjusting like the scalings of the skills. Like we know Coco does a lot of damage because the passive orbs are scaling on raw attack. So maybe like if they buffed the like raw multipliers of the skill 1 and skill 2, it could be okay for units like Momo and the other ones like Nana, etc. Right? Because I
What
don't
I'm
think it would
hearing
make
is-
Coco overpowered.
I'm hearing 8% additional damage.
I knew that was happening. I knew you were gonna say that.
I think
That's what you said. In 4 patches, she'll be great.
I think when they can add more stuff in the passive is where it's like free real estate to add more stuff, right? People can have like 2 pages long passive skill. So this is where they can add in stuff like give her Oblivion because she can AoE Oblivion, for example. Then
That'd
that'd
be
be nice.
crazy.
Give her self buffing whenever she get a turn. That'd be nice. Give her revenge chance. That'd be nice. Give her attack bar gain or turn gain like Antares. That'd be nice. Like make her Antares, for example. Every other turn she can randomly just get a turn and AoE defense break your entire team. That'd be funny to see. So passive, I think it's like free real estate for improvement if they want to. Yeah.
I think if they gave it attack and defense, it could be okay. Or if they gave it destroy, built-in destroy could be okay too. Because then
like
you could at
turn
least use it in
gaining.
Guild Wars, right?
Make it like fun, unpredictable.
Yeah.
Make it like
It
wind
definitely
sniper,
needs
you
to be
know?
fun.
So as a wind unit, she just like cut in between more and do something. That'd be fun.
AoE defense break,
Yeah, that'd be funny to
attack
see.
break the more.
Yeah.
And one of the easiest way that Comters has been doing to buff unit is just give it strip. Skill to strip defense break. Oh, remind me of something? Ooh. Wind unit? AoE strip defense break?
Scary.
No.
Scary.
Yanni?
Yeah, they took that. They took that
Oh.
away. They took that AoE. They took that AoE strip defense break away
Yeah,
on purpose.
they usually take something away and then put it somewhere else. Remember Laika, Miho? Remember Gani, Changpeng? Remember Changpeng, Momo? Ooh. Oh, I don't see that coming at all, huh?
No.
Weird. Nah, not me, bro, not me.
Maybe it's possible. It's honestly possible.
Yeah, give her strip
Yeah.
defense break. And suddenly she's like, ooh, that's kind of spicy for cleavers, yeah?
Yeah.
That attack lead for
You want to
Lucian.
talk about the other? Want to talk about the other one that needs help?
All right,
No,
this
not
is
her,
Momo,
not her,
but
not her.
No, this is Momo, but it's stacked up faster, like you say. It's still shit.
Yeah.
See, that's the
It's
problem.
leader
Right there.
skillless, no leader skill Momo.
Exactly. Oh my god.
Oh, but this one has a strip technically.
Wow.
Technically single target, yeah. Yeah.
It has everything we
Yeah.
said about, and it's still shit. Oh god. dude. I think they need to
The
uncap
skill four is
her
really
damage though. Honestly, She's
Uncapping
like
the
leading
Uncap
Yeah.
the
damage.
damage or change the skill
Crazy.
4. The skill 4 could be so good.
Mhm.
dude, just make it like Poseidon. Skill 4, ignore elements. Boom. Become
That'd be
Lydia.
crazy.
Well, the thing is, the skill 4 has no utility. It just does damage based on like units being alive, which is like it could be good if they scaled it really well. But no, I think you're right. I think uncapping the passive could be sick.
Personally, I
Uncapping
play
the
with
passive
her
could be sick.
like once every couple months, you know, gotta give some love. And every time I play with her, I look at the damage, she do like 50, 60k. I laugh. It's fun. It's interesting. But because she's win, she's, you know, narrowed down to elements, and the cap on her damage make her potential much lower than Lydia could ever do. And Lydia just like one-shot everything, right? And this guy can potentially be that if they uncut the damage and maybe give something to Rolling Cannon. And then she can be immediately like one of my favorite cleave unit for fun of all time because I don't have Lydia.
I think Rolling Cannon could be like the elemental version of Shiana's skill 3, and it would be okay. Right? Because Shiana has the benefit of being neutral elements, so she can hit everybody. Christina still can't hit fire units very consistently. And you're not going to build a Christina with a lot of accuracy. So I think it's fine if they want to like add the reduces attack bar and then deals damage based on attack bar reduction on her skill 4. Because she's never going to hit as much as Lydia. Lydia is so much better against like speed comps right now because you do damage based on enemy speed difference.
And their reflect damage makes her incredibly difficult to kill.
Yeah. The only thing she's got going
Have
for
you
is
died
she's
to Lydia before, LC,
Yep.
as a cleaver?
Yeah.
Many
18
times,
times.
right? You're like, oh,
Yeah.
she's gonna die. Oh shit, she didn't die.
No, she never dies.
And then she's just like, oh, you cleaving me? Goodbye, my friend. Boom.
Yeah. Oh god. It hurts so much, man.
PTSD revive right there. I think they can give her like stat awakening as well because now she awakened into his skill 4, which can be just given to her and then give her like crit rate awakening so that rooting her will be less of a problem potentially. That'd be nice.
What is she
as well.
awakened into now?
The skill 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, might as well just give her the skill and give her like speed, crit, you know, whatever awakening. That'd be nice. And then
we also
lastly,
just got a new event, like literally right now. It just got posted.
really? Is it good? Is it
Yeah.
good Devimon?
Check an event, free +6, 2x mana, 2x EXP,
Oh,
1
please.
bonus glory
Wait,
event,
wait, what?
free
Free
energy
plus
events,
6? Oh,
free
wait.
+6 on runes.
Oh, it's not like
double
a plus
essence
6
drops
event.
and then double rift dungeon drops.
Oh,
so it's
I
like
thought
for a
it's a
month we
runic
get
then.
like different stuff on each day. No, we get free +6 on runes, free +6 upgrades.
All right, are you ready to talk about my new storage queen? I have her. Please. Do
Giou?
something about it?
Is it time?
It's time, dude.
It's time. Just change karma because it sucks. It doesn't do anything.
Karma does nothing.
I think she has a great potential.
You can cleanse it, or you can let it end. It doesn't do anything.
Because I think this skill is literally anti-CC comp, because they all have to use this skill constantly, and she gain attack bar constantly. And she can actually cut in between turn 1 like Valantis when you get stripped, and she gain 25% attack bar. But Valantis gain a turn and just strip you and slap you in the cheeks, and this girl gain a turn and just, you know, do nothing.
You know,
that's the problem.
So there's two
right?
things I think they can do to make Giou good. One, if they make Karma 3 turns, and 2, if they give her unstunnable, unCCable in her passive.
Yeah. So
or like immune to attack bar pushback would be fine as well. You can stun her, but you can't push back her, which would be okay as well, right? Because then Chung Pong can't reset her, so you have to deal with you have to play around it differently. But, like,
I think
the
she
biggest
might be
issue
the
with
answer.
Karma is like 2 turns is too short. 2 turns Karma is too short. It needs to be 3.
At, like, best case scenario, she locks down 1 unit. Worst case scenario, she does nothing.
Not even lockdown. It's a soft lockdown that they can take the punishment to keep controlling you. Like, it's crazy.
They can just eat it because she doesn't do any damage.
Yeah.
Unless you pair her with
every
like
single turn, like
unkillable Molly, LD com, then she can punish people. But that is if, you know, you pair her with like broken unkillable unit. If you use her like with Lulu, they can just control her and Lulu, and you like, oh shit. Because she got the rest leader
a lot
skill.
of the time you'd rather use the skill than and take the 50% HP, right? Like, I'd rather throw a Sierra Bomb, take the 50% HP. I'd rather throw my Molong skill 3, kill a unit, and then die. I'd rather throw my Chung Pong skill 3 or my Carnal skill 3. Like, there's very few situations where I won't just use my skill through that and just say fuck it.
I think
like,
after you use your skill, you take the
happens
50% and get stunned as well. How about that?
I like that. Or she gets an immediate turn on top of the cooldown.
I don't like that because it resets her path. It resets her karma. So she'll just be getting turns over and over and over.
That's kind of the point, because it'll be a harder lockdown.
Yeah, but then she becomes this like unkillable damage dealer, right? She'll deal so much damage.
But as you land this, what if you miss this? It's over. Again, like Jeogun, right?
Yeah.
You use the skill, nothing happened. And then you just use like a skill that did nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
it's a 3-turn cooldown. You get 25% attack bar anytime someone uses a skill with a cooldown. You probably would suffer because you missed it and the cooldown is long, because her skill 1 doesn't really do anything.
I mean, they can try like how they did with Jeogun, like give the skill instant cooldown. I mean, not instant cooldown, instant turn after using karma.
If you miss, you get an instant turn.
I like
and
that.
Cooldown reset. Give her the second buff. If you miss, you get a free turn.
Because if giving her an additional turn, isn't that just the same thing as reducing the cooldown by 1?
No, giving turn means you can strip a skill 1 too, so you can do something else.
Oh, okay, I guess. The S1 just
rotate
seems so lackluster. That's also true.
Yeah, I think allowing her to stun after they use the skill give a much heavier punishment and make karma like a real skill, you know, instead of just like doing some small damage, which might get healed immediately. And that will buff the fire one too, which I think can use a small buff to be relevant because she's almost there, you know? She's a speed leader, she extend debuff, which can make people stun for 2 turns, which is kind of cool for Gianna user, which I don't have a Gianna to use with. But she's almost there, you know, because she needs something. She can't function
really
alone.
Good.
Just give her a different skill too.
Yeah.
Karma's just so bad.
Give her the AoE death break, yes too.
No, they have the revive in their family. So
no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the mages. My bad.
Yeah, give her the revive. The revive skill is cool.
So hopefully, we'll see her name on top of the next balance patch. Maybe. All right. Any Nat 4? Because they also do work on Nat 4 sometimes that you want to see. I really want to see Samurai getting some love, man. Like they just, I don't know.
Didn't the Samurais get love like a year ago?
They just
they
don't scale with speed.
Good. I used them when they got buffed. They're not very good.
I've seen some highlights.
I use the light one every year just to try, and he never does anything. He gets like 2 wins and that's it. And I lose like 10 games.
2 hype wins though.
2 good YouTube highlights, right? And that's about it.
Yeah.
I think some of the skill need to scale with speed, man. Like at least the light one has to scale with speed somehow, right?
Yeah.
That base speed is wasted right there, dude.
If they're gonna make it so that you have really high base speed and no utility, you need to have damage based on your like stats, right? If you're not, the thing is, units are bad nowadays because they don't have utility.
Unless they're Lucian, then you don't need utility because enemy dies immediately. Yeah, they look so cool. They have so many cool transmog. skill animation is top notch, and it does damage only. That's it, and not even the best at that job. So unfortunately, what else? What Nat for? Do you guys think? Just think. Don't worry. Editing will
Nat
magically make
Force.
you say something immediately.
Honestly, for Nat 4 families that I want to see buffed, I would really like to see a buff on the Dice Magicians again.
Go on.
They're fun. They're really fun units. I think they just need a little bit more to their passives. Every single one of them needs a little bit more to their passive. That way you don't have to buff Tableau.
Respect. Okay, I'm in.
I think buffing Tableau is a mistake. I'm gonna be perfectly
That is
honest.
definitely a mistake.
Yeah, I think all of the other ones could use something to their like. Ludo could use a little bit more to passive or like a passive change. I think the rest of them are pretty okay. It's hard to
They do have
say.
some cool
Dice
trends
Trick
on
could
this
use a buff too. If you're like Reno user, Dice Trick could use a buff.
I like
Because
it.
Unlucky 7 is just so much better, right? You're
I
still
think they
Unlucky
should just
7,
make
you hit a
Reno
7,
like
you win the game.
Blue
Yeah.
Lucian. Like this is RNG Blue Lucian, pretty much.
It hits so hard though if you
Because
hit 2
Cleave
or 3 of
playstyle
these.
is always like the minority, you know? Like our voice need to be heard. We need to cleave better. And Julie just doesn't cut it sometimes. You know, you need a real blue Lucian to kill Carcano, to kill Juno, to kill Verd. And this just didn't cut it. Like, for real. The damage is too unreliable to actually bring it in and hope for a good win rate. Just make it ignore defense. Why not? We have Lucian exist.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of the whole theme though of Dice Magician? Like they are
RNG.
RNG.
I mean, you can RNG to do like great damage, and normally you should do like some sort of reliable damage, right?
Yeah.
You can RNG to like.
I think they should add a pity to the skill. So what happens like if you roll really low, instead of doing a ton of damage, your damage is like a lot of utility instead. So like you have pushback and stun and stuff like that. Right? So
Okay,
it's like
I can
you
see
either hit the perfect middle and you do like okay damage, you hit the high end where you ignore defense and do a lot of damage, or you hit the low end and you have like utility. So it's not so bad.
That's kind of what that's what Unlucky 7 does, where you either slow below 7 or stun above 7.
Mhm.
So
And then if you hit 7, you get both.
yeah, that's
So-
disgusting, by the way.
Yeah, so
As a
you.
Reno, as a Ludo user, can tell you that for sure. Made a couple people rage quit their
Yep.
streams playing with Ludo.
So
Ah,
I think Reno can be the thing if it just get a little bit of change.
Also, nerf Carcano, please.
This is the Commune rage over again, right? We used to scream out
Oh
Commune,
my god.
and
How's you
now
nerf it? What do you do?
Where
He
is he?
can't defense break if he's stunned. His passive
That-
doesn't activate if you're stunned.
Isn't
That's-
that
that's
does that
all-
negate
that's
the
it.
passive though? The point of a passive?
Yeah, but not every passive activates until you like actually take a turn. Like Vero's passive is denied if he's stunned.
Well,
Right?
those are
Iris
because
passive is
those are what-
denied if you're stunned.
Wait, Vero
Yeah, but he
passive
defense
not-
breaks for free. He straight up just defense breaks for free at the beginning of his turn. If he's stunned, if he's not stunned, it doesn't matter. He just gets free defense break no matter what.
I think he
It's
gets too many
ridiculous.
buff instantly, like speed, awakening, and then 2-turn death break, and the bonus glancing chance. Like he gets 3 buff,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
and speed lead too, 4 buff.
And your skill
Wait,
one ignores buffs, so you just ignore
Yeah.
defense buff as well.
It's crazy. Like your Commune
Carcano's
shield and
everything.
Vigor anti-crit used to be like the holy grail of survivability. Oh god, doesn't matter anymore. Insane, absolutely insane. And he's so because he provides utility and damage in one unit. Everybody just build 5 of him, and he's like way better than Commune, and Commune just get
I have
ditched.
3 fully skilled ones.
I remember
So good.
day one when this was announced, my entire guild was like, yo, we building Carcano? I was like, yeah, we're building Carcano. Our guild show is just Carcano 6-star, Carcano 6-star, Carcano 6-star.
Yeah. 7th
Yeah.
anniversary scrolls. I 6-star 3 Carcanos, all max skilled.
Yep.
Good times.
That's a good choice.
He's like he's like just like Commune and Vigor combined with Death Break and Speed Lead and damage, and you can add in more stuff to the lineup and make your defense really really strong. And he's gonna stay in the defense, I think, for a long time to come, as long as he remain the Speed Lead.
Even
He's
if they
gonna stay
nerf
there
him,
for a
even if they
long
nerf him, like he'll still be really good if they nerf him the way I say.
Maybe revert the
Um,
Death Break back to 1 turn. It used to be one.
I
One of
think
the
that
strongest thing, like
It wouldn't be
sorry,
the
go
worst
ahead,
thing.
go ahead. Like he's good enough that I fought someone who was using Sierra Rauk Iris, right? And I used Carcano Dova Lucian, and his Rauk outsped my Dova, killed my Lucian, killed my Dova, and my Carcano 1v3'd him. Like
Vampire?
I violent procced once per turn to go back into stance. I one-shot every single one of his units.
Yeah.
Because defense
Yeah.
break stance is so good. You deal so much. I'm hitting the Sierra for like 44k. I'm hitting this Iris for like 43k. I'm hitting this Rauk for 50k.
And you know what? I saw his Carcano. They're all on like HP build.
They're all on HP builds. None of them have over 1,000.
They barely have over 1,000 bonus attack. Barely. All of them.
God.
So they are tanky as fuck, and they just pop everything.
I just don't get it. Like, I get that he needs really good runes, but he's also so fucking strong.
So we're gonna see
There's a
him
reason
like how we
every
see
guild
Kamoon for a
runs
long
Carcano
time.
defense.
There's no point running Kamoon. Kamoon is just so inferior to this right now. It's crazy.
The only people that run Kimono are people that haven't pulled enough Carcano skill ups.
Sag.
I would even
They forgot to put Carcano in the scroll.
Scarier. Oh, sad, Sean, sad.
That must have happened. So Carcano nerf for healthy guild content potentially.
I don't want him to be gutted. I just want to make him a little bit more fair to fight. I think if you're stunned, you shouldn't defense break. That's all I'm asking for. I think that's a reasonable thing. Like, there are other units with passives that have the same effect. Vero doesn't do the attack bar gain thing if he's stunned. Iris doesn't heal if she's stunned. Stuff like that. Like, those are fair changes to the game.
On a side note,
I also want to see buffs to water units. Water units in Siege suck unless it's vigor. Still.
I think this was a great buff to this guy.
That was a great buff. Love that buff.
This was a great buff. Like, he's so
Rigel is
relevant
strong
now.
too.
And slightly underrated, still not super popular. But I think if you want to compete in the meta and you want something that actually survive and do damage and not just get destroyed turn one, then this is one of them. Together with Vert, together with Lulu, this is a unit that, you know, it's great. It's great. Every Okeano skill, every water reuse skill, you gain a turn almost immediately. So you can either build on Vampire or Violent, and he will be like a pain in the ass for those AoE CC user. But water unit buff, what do you want to see?
I just want to see a water unit that's like a strong utility stripper, right? The thing is, like, every time you look at a stripper, your first thoughts are, let me just use a light unit, a dark unit, or Clara, because Clara's AI is perfect, right? If Clara moves first, she always skill 3s.
Remember
Aegir is
that
single target.
Dude, I used to scream nerf this guy so much, dude. I felt like a stupid man now. Because he was
pretty strong back then.
He's a
really
normal
strong
unit
back
now.
then.
Because absorption just absorb 0 attack bar to become 100% attack bar. Literally Jesus. Turn no attack bar to 100% attack bar. Literally.
And then skill 2's 50% attack bar for free. So you just rotate even faster.
So if you want this guy to bring back the meta, what do you want him to have right now?
I don't think we should buff Aegir. I don't think he's the one to get buffed, to be honest.
Sag.
I think Luer should have AoE strip.
Oh, AoE strip defense break. Oh, sounds
I think
familiar.
they can even take the defense break away, and the reason I want Luer to have AoE strip is because he ignores elements. Because crushing hits ignore elements, which I think would be pretty good for him.
He's 105 care about elements, right? What does it matter? Oh, you want to push back attack bar.
True. The pushback would. You're right.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, you can run despair too, right? Because you're never gonna clan.
Yeah.
If he stripped, that'd be so
Swift.
mean. So mean, dude. If he stripped, that'd be so mean. He's like a water Ryu without speed.
Cool. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
This
I
guy
think he'd be fun to see some buffs on.
This is like pathetic. Can we see?
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty pathetic. Even this is much better with Molly. This is just pathetic. Yeah. I don't know. Why does this thing exist? But I guess, you know, when you have to make 5 elements, one of them is going to be made by an intern, and it's going to be shit anyway.
I also think that for 4 stars, there's one more 4-star that I want to talk about. I think the Poison Masters of the Dhalsims could use a little bit more.
I was waiting to bring it up.
I actually lost to a Dark Dhalsim in RTA yesterday. The guy brought Molly, Dark Dhalsim, Louise, Juno, and Achroma.
I think you lose because the surprise factor is quite important too, because you're like, wait, what does he do again?
I lost because the Juno triple revenged me in the first 2 turns. So I wasn't worried about the Cade. The thing is, the Cade would defense break and then violent proc me, and he would just like delete something. I'm like, okay, well, it'd be like that.
Because I think their skill set is perfect for PvP. Death break and stun. What else can you ask for? That's the perfect thing. So just a little bit more, because the fire and the wind, I think they're trying to make some continuous damage thing in their mind, and nobody really care about continuous damage because everybody has a Thrain. Everybody might have a Rika as well. So
Sath, Water Homunculus. If you're like a PvE player, you don't need these units anymore.
So like the dots thing, because they kind of fit in the theme with this toxic looking unit that just spray, you know, toxicity out their stuff. I think the water one is great. You know, it used to be really good against Kamoon Vigor, in my opinion, but now that meta is gone, so he's gone as well. I don't use him anymore. But yeah, can see some change potentially, like how they buffed the String Master, right? They can maybe do something about these as well. If you don't have Bastet, will you use Hongyeon?
The speed tuning would be tighter, but I guess I'd be forced to.
She's pretty fast.
She's real fast.
And the best thing about this unit is you can run her faster than Tiana, I realize.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the best things. You can run her before Tiana, because the problem with Bastet Tiana is you have to run Tiana faster with a lower base speed.
Yeah.
But this doesn't care. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think potentially they can make the Water String Master, which is a very anti-buff, great mechanic that nobody use, make skill 3 into a passive. That just block buff as a passive unit. And it will fucking mess with Jeogun, it will fucking mess with Fran, Lulu, and so many other stuff in guild content, like speed buff in guild content.
I think she might be too strong if she automatically buffs or blocks beneficial effects.
I've been thinking about this lately, and I feel like I've kind of given up on a lot of like 4-star units getting buffs, because I feel like I just sit here and wait for the next 2A anyways. Like, as much as I want a 4-star to get buffed, like every time a unit gets 2A, there's like 1 or 2, or there's like 1 that's just nuts. Right? And it's like, why would I bother waiting for these 4-stars when I could just wait for the 2A?
How about we wait for the 2A to get buffed too?
Hey, let's go!
Yeah. Because the unit that, why do I use this when I can just use Rogue? This is lame, right?
Yep.
It's just weird.
Just
like,
use Rogue or a Karu.
Why do I use this ever?
you don't. You just don't.
At least make him immune to something so he can tank something. Immune to death break. Tank Carcano. Can we have that?
Yeah,
there are 2 units that's immune to death break. They're both nat 3. Like, if Carcano can just like pop them if he wants to too. Maybe. But yeah, they are good counter to Carcano still.
It's pretty hard to pop the Sin unless your Vigor does a lot of damage.
Yeah, but can we have more of that? Like, and not just 2-3-star unit? Like, can we have like a cool, badass looking werewolf like this and usable as well? Because he get pop. No matter how much HP you put on him, he get popped so fast.
Because defense, I mean, this brings us back to a conversation we had a long time ago. Defense break is just OP.
When you have death break in the skill, suddenly you're like, I'm strong now.
Yeah.
All right, predictions on what do you think is going to be the LD Nat 5 that gets over buffed?
Oh, there's gonna be one. Oh shit. Is it this? Oh, damn.
Oh, wow, crazy.
Whoa.
Wish.
Actually,
wish
80%
so
of LD Nat 5 now are kinda good.
No,
Really?
It's not that high.
It's
It's
not.
not that high.
There's
I'd
some
say
shitty
50%
one.
Less than 50. Less than 50.
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You look
I
at
don't know.
Fermion, you look at the Dark Dragon, you just do
Okay,
anything.
so on your screen right now, I would say the ones that are good: Light Monkey, King Jaeger, Asima, Yunhong, Pontos.
Elenoa.
Elenoa is
so
okay.
good.
I don't think she's that good actually.
She's
really
so
good if
good.
you have a Nephew.
She's so good.
really good if you have a Nephew.
No,
I have,
she's solos, man. She's
outside of the Nephies, I haven't had a single problem with Elenoa.
What's going on with you? I don't know, man. She's so good.
The problem is she doesn't do enough unless you have something else that enables it, right? Her as a unit herself is not strong enough.
But
She's like Gani is still better than her in every situation.
just use it with Gani then.
But then where's your damage? You need
Yeah,
to
3
you need
more
to run
units.
something else that enables that.
She
damage
death
to
break.
happen, right? That's why.
And she gain turn constantly.
brings on skill one. She doesn't
Dude,
do that
people
much though.
people play without damage in Geni Hearth all day. They can play with this.
That's true.
I mean, I guess most people who Gani Hathor now have like either the Yunhong with it or they have the Changpeng, right? And the person bans the more and tries to win it with 3 fire units and then loses. But
Okay,
yes,
maybe
besides the
half
point,
of this
besides
is
the
not
point, we continue
really
on. Like,
okay,
Pontos
maybe half.
Pontos is good. Tianlang is good. Valantis is god tier.
Isis is not good.
And Narsha's pretty okay.
Dude,
And then, like,
S
that's
tier.
it. That's it.
Narsha's really good.
I don't think Narsha's really good in RTA. And the reason I don't think she's really good in RTA is because she's too one-dimensional. She can kill a unit, but that's all she does.
I think she's better. She's just a better Daphnis, right?
So you're
Death
just
break,
insulting
strip,
my
and
entire
one shot.
being in RTA.
But I think that, well, I mean, we all know that Cleve is the weakest draft right now.
You're
Like,
right.
it's not-
Oh damn!
No, he's right. He's right. No, he's right.
Cleve is the game is just progressed in a way that they're like, hey, you Cleve, get shit on.
Someone
Yeah.
call Logan
just-
Paul.
they
This
just
guy
want
just
you to
killed a
cleave.
man.
The game doesn't want you to cleave, right? I've said it every season. I've been like, guys, I want to cleave people, but like cleave is just so bad right now, and it just gets worse and worse every single season. It never gets better.
Dude, one day they're gonna
It's
buff
better.
Bastet base speed. Dude, just watch. One day.
I'm waiting.
Maybe.
Waiting for that
Like
day.
the reason I say like Narsha is like okay is like she does great damage, but she doesn't provide enough like turn 1 utility in my opinion.
Is this too
Anybody?
strong? Is it dumb?
Yes, this is one of the
Hard
most
yes.
busted units in the game.
Hard, yes.
His skill 3 is AoE attack bar, AoE slow, and then his skill 2 is AoE stun, AoE attack bar gain. And then he stuns you on skill 1 and he has speed awakening.
And if he go turn 2, he got rest awakening to like fuck with your, you know, 50% accuracy team. Also, this is kind of bad.
Yes, it kind of is an understatement.
And yeah,
Other than that,
that's
not
it
too
for that's it for us, right? All right, so thank you so much for watching the video. I think there are like 5 people watching until the end right now, but hey, big shout out to you. If you want to check out Once in Love for meta abusing toxic gameplay in High Guardian, check out twitch.tv/Once in Love. If you want to check out Bastet, Tableau, Oberon, one-shot action, then you can check out LC33. And if you want to watch some dumb shit, check out my YouTube channel. And we'll see you guys in the next balance patch, potentially. All right, bye guys.